for chanting practice. Do you have any kind of like the advice for chanting practice? And then it's like, what is the difference like between like chantings and like sitting and some like the way we do?
First, my first advice for you is 신묘장구 대다라니. Just to do it. One time when I was practicing in Providence Zen Center in America, and then probably some of our students know that happened that they recorded my chanting. Then I had no idea, and then after a while, then some Zen centers in the States started asking me to lead Kido retreat. And then one time there is a Cambridge Zen Center. There's another one actually in the Cambridge Open Meadow. And it's a kind of a small Zen center. And then the Zen master there asked me to lead a whole day chanting retreat. So it's not just a few hours. It's just like 1 day retreat. Like starting at 9 a.m. and then finish like 3 or 4 p.m. and you keep chanting all the way without lunch. But it sounds like really long and tough. But probably some of you heard that when Zen Master Seung used to lead the Kido retreat early in Kwan school, sometimes he did like 2 nights, 3 days Kido retreat. Anyway, then this Zen Master, when he asked me, I agreed, and then he told me, Sunim, I only just concerned there may be not many people probably sign up, register for Kido. And then, why? And then he told me, usually people prefer sitting to chanting. And, because when you sit, you are free to think about anything. Right? You can just think about anything. Nobody will actually recognize and correct you. So it's kind of, you have that kind of sort of freedom you can, enjoy. But while you chant, especially when you have to chant together, there's much more restrictions that, you have to follow, and you have to really try to hear your own voice and the other voice. So actually it's more tough. Even our chanting, actually, I think many of you already understand it. That's a hard practice, chanting together. Understand? If you chant by yourself, it's much easier, and you can, tune your own tone. You can, enjoy your own beautiful voice. You think. But when you have to chant together, there are so many terrible voices around you, and you never think about your own voice, actually. How it would sound to the others. So there are lots of complaints, arise in your mind. Not easy to actually manage that. Do you have experienced that? Yeah, I have it. Yeah. So chanting is kind of, I think, I would say in that kind of aspect, it's even tough, more you need take more attention and effort to really engaged in this, practicing together, rather than just this. I'm not saying that which one is better or higher, but in terms of technically, you really need to care more others rather than the sitting. Sitting, if you get adjusted to sitting and not much pain or sleepiness, that's quite enjoyable actually. But chanting together, that it can be often challenging, which means hard practice, great practice actually. Yeah, because unless you really put down your this preference, your like and dislike, and me, Otherwise, chanting together can be really challenging, give you a really hard time. So, everything is form, right? Chanting is form, sitting is form, 100-day bowing is practicing form, but our body itself is already form. So when we have to deal with this form, that's a kind of practice. So what was your next question about chanting? That was your question, right? Yeah. So chanting, yeah. That's no matter what you do, as you practice, and in the beginning, I think it's not easy. And then, if you have this sincerity and in our word, you just keep trying, then someday you find out your own kind of, let's say, style, or your own kind of way to help yourself to be clear, and also at the same time to find how to harmonize with others. Very interesting. I heard some genius, some artists like maybe Picasso or some very popular pop stars like maybe Beatles. I heard some people sometimes think, looking at them, I want to also be like that. So, and then they just think about their own style. So I just want to become very kind of outstanding, some very unique character. I mean, not everybody, but generally people, when they see the kind of, very outstanding people in each field, people think about that. But actually, I heard that they do lots of practice, the kind of the standard. They don't actually, for example, like a Picasso, he didn't paint in such a style from the beginning at all. Actually, I heard that he used to practice a lot, just as the other artists used to do, the Seung and the sketch, and then some, very basic kind of training. I heard that he did a lot practice, and someday his style appeared. So that means actually it just doesn't happen without such some effort. When his mind became very clear and simple, and then kind of get some true insight, then the true style appear. I think our practice is a sort of kind of same, because when we do practice, until some point we have lots of struggle. Our mind and the emotion and ups and downs, and even if when you listen to Dharma talk, I seem to understand. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's why I practice. But then maybe after dinner, body become very heavy, and maybe suddenly aircon is out of water. Then our clarity completely collapsing. But so there are lots of ups and downs in our practice. But you just as Zen Master Sunim said, there are two wings. It's a little different kind of dimension, but when we talk about two wings in our practice, especially in our teaching tradition, that the clear direction and then keep trying. Why you practice? Why do you live this life? The direction must be very clear. And then you just keep trying. You never give up. We used to call these two things are wings of our practice. You have this, someday you fly. So if you have this and you just keep trying, someday your style appear. That means actually you can deal with any kind of situation. any kind of emotion that you face, you can handle. That means in our term that you center, you only don't know, or you just to do it, whatever, or your true self, true nature become very strong and solid. So your mind is not moving. So yeah, emotion appear. Outside the condition change, or many different. But your mind is not moving so that you believe in yourself 100%. Then you can just manage, you can control all this outside situation, condition, or your emotion. And then helping others also possible. So that's our practice, right? So anyway, chanting is the same. Until you really, we call you attain your own voice. That doesn't mean that you become really super pop star. You just, you attain your voice means actually you can really perceive your own voice. And then that means actually you can also chant together in a community. Because basically the substance is not different. Yours and the others are not different. I'm not saying about this, how beautiful it could be. Maybe it's not possible. But at least, you can feel comfortable. The others can feel maybe comfortable, I hope. So, after I talk these kind of things, usually that day, evening chanting become quite nervous. Because everybody think about this. But anyway, we'll have to deal even with that. Okay.